In a small busy town in southern Nigeria, there lived a girl called Kamsi. Everybody knew Kamsi. Some people knew her because she was the most beautiful girl in the area. Some people knew her because of the kind of work she did. But many people knew her because of her kind heart. Kamsi was very beautiful. Her skin was smooth and glowing. Her eyes were bright and soft. When she walked on the street, people turned to look at her. Women whispered. Men stared. Children smiled at her. But Kamsi had a secret pain. She was a prostitute. Every night, when the sun went down and the sky became dark, Kamsi dressed up. She wore nice clothes, beautiful shoes and light perfume. She would stand by the roadside or go to hotels where rich men came to relax. Many people judged her. Such a beautiful girl, they would say. What a shame. She has no dignity. But they did not know her story. Kamsi did not choose that life because she loved it. She chose it because of hunger. She grew up very poor. Her father died when she was young. Her mother became sick and could not work. Kamsi was the first child. She had two younger brothers and one little sister. There was no food in the house most days. She tried selling pure water. She tried washing clothes for people. She tried working in a small restaurant, but the money was never enough. One night, a friend told her, "There is a faster way to make money." Kamsi cried that night. She prayed. She fought inside her heart. But hunger is a hard thing. So she entered the nightlife. The first time she went out, she was shaking. Her heart beat fast. She wanted to run away. But she thought of her mother's medicine. She thought of her brother's school fees. She stayed. From that night, her life changed. She started making good money, very good money. But Kamsi was different. She did not use the money to buy expensive wigs and bags only. Yes, she dressed well. Yes, she looked good, but most of her money went somewhere else. There was an old widow in the next street called Mama Grace. Mama Grace had no children. Her husband died many years ago. She was always hungry. Every week, Kamsi bought rice, beans, gari, and oil for Mama Grace. There were 3 children whose father died in an accident. Their mother sold groundnuts by the roadside. She could not pay their school fees. Kamsi paid the fees quietly. She told the headmaster not to mention her name. There was a boy who was very sick and needed hospital treatment. Kamsi paid the hospital bill. Slowly, people started noticing something. Whenever someone was in trouble, somehow help would come. Many did not know it was Kamsi. She never told anyone. But one person knew, a young girl called Ada. Ada worked as a maid in a big house in town. She was just 17. Her mother was very sick. They had no money for treatment. One day, Ada met Kamsi crying behind a shop. "What is wrong?" Kamsi asked. Ada explained everything. That same day, Kamsi went to the hospital and paid all the bills. She also gave Ada money to buy drugs and food. Ada fell on her knees. "I will never forget you," she said. Kamsi only smiled. "Just pray for me," she replied. Life continued like that. One evening, a very handsome man came into town. His name was Kelvin. Kelvin was tall, dark, and charming. He wore expensive clothes. He drove a big black car. When he smiled, dimples showed on his cheeks. Many girls wanted him. But Kelvin noticed only Kamsi. He saw her standing under a streetlight one night. He parked his car and called her. "How much for the night?" he asked. Kamsi told him her price. Kelvin laughed softly. "I will pay you double," he said, "but you will stay with me till daybreak." Kamsi hesitated. Something about him made her uncomfortable. His eyes were too sharp. His smile did not reach his eyes, but the money he mentioned was huge. Very huge. She thought about the school fees she needed to pay the next day. She entered his car. Kelvin took her to a large house outside town. The house was quiet, too quiet. There were tall fences and heavy gates. Inside, everything was beautiful but cold. Kamsi felt strange. Kelvin offered her a drink. She refused politely. He smiled again. "You don't trust me?" he asked. "I just don't drink," she said. He shrugged. As the night went on, Kelvin kept looking at his watch. He made phone calls in whispers. Kamsi's heart began to beat fast. Around midnight, Kelvin excused himself. "I'll be back," he said. Kamsi sat alone in the big room. Suddenly the door opened quietly. It was Ada, the maid. Ada's eyes were wide with fear. "Kamsi," she whispered. Kamsi stood up in shock. "Ada, what are you doing here?" "I work here," Ada said quickly. "You must leave now." "Why?" Kamsi asked. Ada started crying. "My master, he is not a good man. He uses girls for rituals. They disappear. Nobody knows." Kamsi's body went cold. "What?" she whispered. "He brought you for sacrifice," Ada said. "I heard him talking. By 2 a.m. they will come." Kamsi felt weak. She wanted to scream. Ada grabbed her hand. "Come with me." They ran quietly through the back door. Ada knew a small gate behind the house. She opened it carefully. "Run," Ada said. Kamsi hugged her tightly. "You saved my life," she whispered. "Like you saved my mother," Ada replied. Kamsi ran into the dark road. She did not stop until she reached the main town. That night she cried like a baby. She realized how close she was to death. For some weeks she stayed indoors. Fear followed her everywhere. But then the needs started again. Mama Grace needed drugs. The school fees were due. The sick boy needed another test. Kamsi looked at her small room and sighed. "If I stop," she said to herself, "who will help them?" So she returned to the night. But now she was more careful. Months passed. One afternoon, while buying fruits in the market, Kamsi met someone new. His name was David. David was different. He was rich but simple. He owned a construction company. He was respected in town. He had calm eyes and a warm smile. When he first saw Kamsi, he did not look at her body, he looked at her face. He smiled gently. "You look tired," he said. Kamsi was surprised. Most men never asked how she felt. They talked for a few minutes. David did not know about her nightlife. He only saw a beautiful, quiet girl with sadness in her eyes. Over the next few weeks, they kept meeting by chance at the fruit store, at the pharmacy, near the school. David began to like her. One day he invited her for lunch. Kamsi almost refused. But something in her heart said yes. At the restaurant, David spoke about his life. He lost his parents early. He worked hard to build his business. He believed in helping others. Kamsi listened quietly. She felt safe around him. For the first time in years, she felt seen. After some time, David found out the truth. One night he saw her standing by the roadside dressed for work. His heart broke. The next day he went to her house. "Why?" he asked softly. Kamsi could not lie. She told him everything. Her poverty, her sick mother, the children, the widows, the hospital bills. She cried as she spoke. David listened without interrupting. When she finished, he took a deep breath. "You have a good heart," he said. "But this part is dangerous." "I know," she whispered. "I want to help you," David said. "Stop going out every night. I will support you. We will take care of everyone together." Kamsi stared at him. "Why?" she asked. "Because I love you," he said simply. Her heart skipped. Nobody had ever said that to her without wanting something in return. "I am not clean," she said. David shook his head. "Your past does not scare me. Your heart matters." Kamsi was afraid. "What if you leave me later?" she asked. "I will not," he said. "But you must promise to stop." It was the hardest decision of her life. That night, she looked at the sky. She thought about all the danger. She thought about Kelvin. She thought about death. She also thought about love. The next morning she told David, "I promise." From that day she stopped going out at night. It was not easy. Some people mocked her. Soundsmen tried to tempt her with money, but David stood by her. He paid the school fees. He helped Mama Grace. He opened a small shop for Kamsi. Together, they created a small foundation to support poor families. People were surprised. The same girl they once insulted was now helping openly. Some months later, David proposed. He knelt down with a simple ring. "Kamsi, will you marry me?" Tears filled her eyes. "Yes," she said. The wedding was simple but beautiful. Mama Grace was there, smiling. The children she helped threw flowers. Ada came too, hugging her tightly. Kamsi wore a white gown. She looked like an angel. As she walked down the aisle, she remembered her past. The dark nights, the fear, the pain. She also remembered the lives she touched. And she knew one thing: no matter where someone comes from, love can change their story. After marriage, Kamsi and David continued helping people. But now she was safe. She slept peacefully at night. Sometimes she would sit on the balcony and look at the moon. She would whisper, "Thank you." Her life had not been perfect, but her heart had always been kind. And in the end, kindness brought her love. Kanzi was once known as the most beautiful prostitute in town, but later she became known for something greater. She became known as the woman whose heart was more beautiful than her face. And this time, the light in her life did not come from street lamps at night. It came from love, safety, and a new beginning.